What up, what up, what up, Entourage? Welcome. Monday. Next Monday, we'll have Monday Night Football. How does that sound? Sounds amazing to me, guys. Well, welcome to another episode. Today, we're going to go over wide receiver rankings. Always so much controversy. And to be quite frank, I know why there's controversy. Because for me, I change my wide receiver rankings probably like multiple times a day. So I get why there might be controversy because there's so many guys that are just so even. But I want to tell you this. The way I do my rankings, it's a little different on how most analysts do their rankings. The way I do it is based on where I would draft guys. Or actually, not even that. Let me backtrack. I do it based on who I trust most, who I want on my team most. Okay? So with that said, I also want to touch on something very, very quick that has nothing to do with that. So today we heard some news about James Robinson, about Mike Gesicki, right? I want to tell you something about starting lineups. They're overrated. They're overrated. A couple years back, Mark Ingram was a starter. Alvin Kamara was the rookie. He was top 5. He finished higher than Mark Ingram. And so with the Jacksonville Jaguars, James Robinson being named the starter, yeah, I would put him as the favorite, sure, but we don't know how they're going to perform. It could be Chris Thompson, although he's an injury waiting to happen. It could be Devine Ozebo, who I thought looked better on tape and is a better pass catcher. Same thing with Mike Gesicki. That's the other big news today. So everybody's freaking out since he's not named the starter. It doesn't matter. He's still the primary pass catching tight end. Everything I've been hearing about, he's going to have a big year. He was tearing it up in practice. Big end zone threat. Okay? So let's not overreact. All right? But now, before we get into our main event here, wide receiver rankings, if you have not already drafted, make sure you get the draft kit. It's $30. It also includes premium in-season content. And today I actually had a Labor Day special. Those who have been following me on Instagram probably know about it. $50 for the whole package. The draft kit, the in-season premium product or premium content, and the coveted private Facebook group, which I had closed a couple of weeks ago. So that's where we go deep. It's more for the professional and people that are looking for, that real cutting edge, that real one-on-one, or not one-on-one, but more access and more detailed questions when it comes to roster evaluations, trades, etc. Okay? Now, the main event, wide receiver rankings. So, number one, obviously I think there's really only two answers here. It's kind of like Saquon and CMC. It's either Michael Thomas or Devontae Adams. Most people will take Michael Thomas the same way most people will take CMC. I'm going to go the opposite way. I still got CMC 1, although I wouldn't doubt Barkley being that number 1 spot. But in this case, I'm going to go Adams because A, I like Aaron Rodgers more than I do Drew Brees. B, because I think Green Bay has absolutely nothing outside of Devontae Adams in the passing game. And C, his targets are just going to be ridiculous, okay? And he gets more touchdowns. That's the other part. So Michael Thomas is still going to be a target hog. He's still going to do work. It wouldn't shock me one bit if he's the number 1 wide receiver. But me, I think the only thing stopping Devontae Adams is if his injury. He worries me a little bit, not a lot of it, but a little bit. But not enough for me to take him outside of number 1 because, like I said, those targets are going to be ridiculous. They have absolutely nothing. They don't even have a tight end. They have nothing outside of Adams, and Rodgers just peppers them. Okay? So I got Devontae Adams, number 1. Number 2, obviously, Michael Thomas. And here's the thing I look for most, and that's why these next guys are going to be a shock to a lot of you guys. I look for targets and consistency. What I love about both Michael Thomas and Devontae Adams is their teams feature them, they move them all around, they get a ton of targets, so they have a pretty safe floor. They're the type of receivers that can give you that running back production. So that's why I love those guys more than anybody else. Okay? Next receiver, in that same mold, Chris Godwin. A lot of people don't have Chris Godwin this high. And here's another misconception. Everybody's freaking out about this 12-man personnel. They're going to have Gronk and O.J. Howard. Guys, when has Bruce Arians ever featured the tight end? If he didn't feature O.J. Howard last year, I don't expect him to feature Gronk and O.J. Howard this year. I just don't. And either way, guys, there's still going to be a leading receiver. Give me the leading receiver on a Bruce Arians offense every single day of the week. Not only the leading receiver, but the slot receiver. Think Larry Fitzgerald. Think Chris Godwin last year. Okay? He's going to get his offense. And the main thing I look for, guys, is security. Same thing with running backs. Give me the guys that are secured with targets in their role and playing the slot. I love slot receivers. Think about what a slot receiver was top 8 from the slot. Cooper Kupp was top 10 last year from the slot. Adam Thielen has been a slot monster. I love slot receivers. It's such a mismatch when you put a talent like Chris Godwin, who has experience playing in the side, outside, and they can move him all around. Sorry, guys. I think I lost internet there for a second. That was weird. But anyway, another guy, this is not a shocker, Juju SmithSchuster. A lot of people are down on Juju, and here's why you have to have a backbone as an analyst. You know, a lot of analysts just kind of like, I call them parrots. They just relay information. They hear shit. They're like, oh, Michael Sickie is not a starter. You know what I'm saying? And they don't really analyze. So let's break down Juju real quick because I can go on and on about Juju. He's a talent. Wide receiver. One of the few wide receivers that was a wide receiver 2 as a rookie. His second year, he was top 10. Had one of the best starts of the career ever. Third reason, I go on, but same thing with Godwin. Okay? He is the guy on a passing offense in the slot, such a mismatch. Okay? What we saw last year, guys, Ben played for not even a full game. In that game versus New England, he was peppered with targets against Gilmore. And just from volume alone, he ended up with like I forget, like 80 yards. I think he probably had the most yards against Gilmore all year. And that was the only game he got to play with Ben. And Pittsburgh's offense is going to be underrated. And don't get me wrong, I love Deontay Johnson, by the way. I think they could both be top 20 receivers. But I'll take Juju because they have weapons all around. They bring in Ebron. They drafted Claiborne. I think Deontay Johnson is going to be phenomenal and takes the next step. James Washington's not bad if you want to, deep threat every once in a while. So Juju is as safe. And he's playing for a contract, guys. Like, Juju's got that it factor for me. So he's going to come in at number 4. I don't care what people say. I don't overreact. I watch football, and Juju is going to be arguably the best value at the wide receiver position. Number 5. I really think this guy is going to take it to the next level, And these next couple of picks, actually from 5 all the way down, are kind of interchangeable, and I've moved them quite a bit. And it's not me flip-flopping, guys. It's just like you're like splitting hairs. It's like, who's better, Biggie or Tupac? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about this. So at number what were we on for? Number 5, I got Kenny Galladay. Kenny Galladay is a wide receiver who's improved every single year as a pro. And he's got everything you want, especially from a talent and physical standpoint. What I love about Kenny Galladay, maybe more than any other receiver in the league, he's unstoppable. Unstoppable. I've seen Kenny Galladay get blanketed, not the least bit open, and Stafford just chucks it up there, and somehow he comes down with the football. That's who Kenny Galladay is, okay? So you take a player that's 6-something, they call him Baby Megatron, and he's got crazy speed, crazy vertical, crazy hands. His catch radius is stupid. You put him, now Stafford, they got Hawkinson, they got weapons all over. Jones, they just signed AP. Love Kenny Galladay. Now I will say this. And then he's a big red zone threat. And he's got a quarterback that likes to throw the football, and their chemistry is ridiculous. He's another one, I believe, he's playing for a contract as well. So, absolutely love Kenny Galladay. Now, there is a little bit of a concern. A little bit. I mean, he's still top 5, obviously. But my concern with Kenny Galladay is he is more prone to a clunker than a Juju, than a Godwin, than an Adams, than a Michael Thomas, because of the reason I mentioned. Detroit has so many weapons that, you know, he has thrown some clunkers, even with Matt Stafford. So he's not the slot receiver. He's not the possession receiver, but he is a big play threat. So Kenny Galladay is a receiver that could change a game in one play. You could get a 60-yard bomb and, you know, just made your day. That's the type of player he is. And I like him because he's a red zone threat. So he's somebody, when they're in the red zone, we're at the goal line, they'll throw him the ball, they'll throw him the fade, they'll give him opportunities to just jump up and catch the football. So I love that about him. He's especially even better in half PPR and standard leagues as well. All right, my number 6. This, again, is really tough. For some reason, I don't know why, but people are sleeping on DeAndre Hopkins. And you can argue he should be higher on this list. He was like 3rd last year, and he had a bad year. Like, I don't even think he caught 100 balls. And that's not... You put him in Arizona with a coach that loves to throw the football. Defense not the best. They're going to need to throw the football. Kyler Murray... He just got traded. He's going to have that chip on his shoulder. Absolutely love D-Hop. Why wouldn't you love arguably the best receiver? It's either him or Julio. There's nobody else you can make an argument for. Michael Thomas is better fantasy. He's not the real life guy, okay? Let's not get it twisted. So why people are down on him, he's about as safe as safe. He's in the middle of his prime. He's 28. They're talking about a contract extension. I like players that are in systems that cater to the skill set and talent, and that's what Arizona will be. And they got decent weapons. They got Drake. They got Christian Kirk. Larry Fitzgerald is still a damn good receiver. So I expect DeAndre Hopkins to be DeAndre Hopkins. He's going pretty low. I've seen him go like end of 2nd, sometimes 3rd. It's really ridiculous. So I'm my 6th receiver. And this next guy, my 7th receiver, I think you know who I'm about to say. Who knows what I'm about to say? I bet somebody says it in 2 seconds. And I'll probably send them a draft kit for it. So, as a matter of fact, if you don't... All right, nobody's saying it. Screw y'all. So, y'all slow. DJ Chark. DJ Chark is arguably, probably actually, I should say, my favorite receiver in the entire fantasy draft. And this guy, I've been touting DJ Chark since last year. Forget about this year. Of course, I've been touting him all summer. But guys, Jay Gruden, known for peppering his receivers. Okay? Gardner Minshew, great chemistry they showed last year. He was, I believe, the number 8 wide receiver last year before getting injured. Number 8. Okay? So... he wasn't the same when he came back, and neither was Minshew, okay? He was number 8. His situation has only got better with Gruden. Minshew's no longer a rookie, just natural progression being his 3rd year. Usually that's the money year. And he was going 5th round all offseason. And then people finally caught on what I've been saying for months. Now he's going a little bit earlier. I've been seeing him going in the 4th round, but he is... even at the 4th round, I think DJ Chark's got the talent to be number 1 overall receiver, just based on the amount of targets. And he's one of those receivers that he could go deep. He could be a red zone threat at the 5-yard line. You could just throw it up. He's got like a 42-inch vertical, I think. That's like Vince Carter, guys. So you could do that with him. He's going to get a ton of targets. Jacksonville's defense stinks. So DJ Chark's going to be ridiculous. That's my number 7. He should be higher, really. And probably tomorrow, if you ask me, he's like my number 5. Yeah, I switch every day. And this guy was higher just the other day. But again, it's like, and I think I dropped him down just a little bit, this next guy, which I'm talking about DJ Moore. DJ Moore. And I think I just moved him up, like, that's why I paused. Like, I think I had Tyreek just before. But here's the thing. Okay, I love Tyreek. But he's a little boomer bust. Like, he's not going to get, like, 10 targets a game. He's got to rely on and his final numbers might be higher than all these guys. He might be top 3. But again, it's not where I think people will end up. It's who I trust most and who's going to be more consistent for my team. I'm looking for that anchor. And I love Tyreek, but I also have a thing with speed receivers. I don't really like the T.Y. Hiltons, the Tyreeks. Those guys, those hammies tend to pop with those speed receivers. And it hasn't yet. Don't get me wrong. Tyreek has been a bill of health. Last year he had the shoulder thing, but that's not a big deal. I'm not concerned about that. But I just like more when you're playing PPR, I like more of those possession receivers. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I put DJ Moore ahead of him. So I think DJ Moore is going to get more targets. I think he'll be the focal point of that offense. I love his offensive coordinator, Brady. I think, Mahomes being such a great quarterback. Great quarterbacks tend to spread the ball around. Yes, they have their main receiver, but you also got Travis Kelce there. You got Demarcus Robinson, who they like, Sammy Watkins, the running backs that they throw the ball to. So, again, Tyreek, excellent talent. Numbers will probably even be top 3, but I prefer players that are going to give me 15 to 18. Like Juju's floor, Godwin's floor is probably going to be like 13 points on an off game because they're just going to get peppered with so many targets. That's my thing with Tyreek, and that's why I put DJ Moore at 7, or DJ Moore at 8, Tyreek at 9. You could flip-flop them. You could really flip-flop 3 to 10. Okay? So there you have it. DJ Moore 8, Tyreek 9. And my last guy, a lot of you guys love him. This is another one. You could put A.J. Brown here. You could put Thielen here. You could put Cooper Kupp here. Today, I'm going with Allen Robinson for the very same reason I've been talking about all these receivers. Targets. Allen Robinson is featured in the Bears offense. He's their number 1 option. Can you really trust Anthony Miller's shoulder? I don't. They don't really have a tight end. I think this rookie that they have is going to be great. Not this year. Tight ends seldomly do good their first year. But Allen Robinson, and he's another guy. He's a big body. He's a possession receiver. He's got the target. He's gonna have the yards. He's gonna put in work. Okay. And I just see one of your comments, and OBJ is like maybe top 20 for me. Maybe top 20. Guys, you don't want OBJ this year. You just don't. It's Kevin Stefanski. Stephon Diggs led the Minnesota Vikings last year in targets. You know how many he had? 5.5. Don't expect OBJ to be OBJ. Not to mention the injury proneness. I want nothing to do with OBJ, especially at his ADP at 4th round. So OBJ is not even in my top. He maybe makes my top 20. Maybe. All right. So yeah, there you have it. Just a quick recap. We got number 1, Devontae Adams. Number 2, Michael Thomas. Number 3, Chris Godwin. 4, Juju. 5, Kenny Galladay. 6, DeAndre Hopkins. 7, DJ Chark. 8, DJ Moore. 9, Tyreek Hill. And 10, Allen Robinson. Some guys that are really close are one of you guys mentioned, Ridley, Cooper Kupp, Adam Thielen, those guys, Julio. Those guys are kind of all in that mix. A.J. Brown I really love a lot. But even Terry McLaurin could be in the mix for that 12 spot. But those top 10 are the guys I feel most comfortable drafting that I can rely on week in and week out based on targets and how they're utilized in their offense. As always, guys, if you have any questions, also, if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up before you leave, helps the algorithm. That's the name of the game. You guys know that. And if you want to get in the Facebook group, tonight's the last night, $50. It was a Labor Day special. Draft kit's still available, $30. Free premium in-season content. Of course, sleepers, bust, rankings, tiered rankings, positional rankings, all of that stuff. And guess what, guys? Podcast coming out Thursday. I got a special guest. Basically, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing YouTube videos every single day. I'm going to be bringing in guests, and then I'll have an audio version you can listen to in your car, in your gym, all that good stuff. Please, if you're not following me already on Twitter, @IamTwitter. Oh, one more thing. I'm doing a Followers League. So I'm doing different things for you guys to give you the opportunity to get in the Followers League. I'm going to have hundreds of dollars worth of prizes. What we'll do a YouTube thing. Just be on the lookout for that. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. Make sure you will have to subscribe to be part of it. I'm going to release my rap video on YouTube tomorrow if you haven't seen it already. Follow me on Twitter. We got something going right now. If you tweet my podcast poster, #fantasyfootballrapper, you can enter for an opportunity to be in my Followers League. And then Instagram @fantasyfootballrapper. We're gonna have like a whole bunch of contests and stuff. Like that opening day, that's the opening day for my podcast. We're gonna be doing crazy stuff. That's when we're gonna have our followers draft. I originally said Wednesday. We're gonna do it Thursday. And I'm gonna do all types of giveaways. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be super dope. So make sure you guys tune into that. Put on your bell notifications on here. It's gonna be going on every day. You don't want to miss it. I promise you guys. Until next time, peace. We out of here.